Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really excited to have this clinic. My name is Michelle. I am an MBA student and I'm an international student from Israel, if you cannot tell by my accent. Today, we're going to discuss public speaking, which tends to be a problem for many students. It tends to be a problem for a lot of people. In fact, before I had this clinic, I had a lot of research about it, and I find out that 4 out of 10 Americans experience phobia. They are afraid of public speaking. That was super interesting to me, and I started researching. What is a phobia? A phobia is an irrational fear of something that's unlikely to cause harm. So people with phobias actively avoid the phobic object or situation, or they endorse it within intense fear and anxiety. So phobias to me are super interesting, and not to like shame anybody, obviously, but there's some really weird phobias. So for example, elkothrophobia is the fear of chickens. Onomatophobia is the fear of names. Pogonophobia is the fear of beards. And nephophobia is the fear of clouds. Cryophobia is fear of ice or cold. And there's even a fear, this one's really funny, that is called Anatidaephobia, which is the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. But the fear of public speaking is called glossophobia, and it is, of course, isn't dangerous. It's not a disease, not a chronic condition, but it is a medical term of the fear of public speaking. So it affects as many as 4 of 10 Americans, as I mentioned. So science says that it happens because of one of 2 reasons. Reason 1, you had an unpleasant experience in the past, so something embarrassing happened to you when you were speaking in front of an audience, and as a result, you're now scared of it. And the second reason is that you have a lack of serotonin in your brain. So we can all just blame it on the serotonin. Most people that are scared of public speaking, they're afraid of being judged or to say something embarrassing. Most of us in our lifetime, especially people that go into STEM, people that go into business like I am, they're gonna have to speak in front of an audience to present their work, to present their project, to pitch an idea or whatever. So it is pretty important, and we have to learn how to, speak confidently in front of an audience. So I kind of want to tell you an embarrassing story that happened to me. I don't really have any public speaking fear. In fact, I feel like when I have the spotlight, I am doing really well. I like attention. That's business people to you. But when I first came to America, when I was a freshman, this is my 6th year in America, so I came 5 years ago. I didn't know very much English, and I remember that as a freshman year, you have to take a lot of extra classes that not necessarily relate to your major. My major in my undergrad was communication and public relation. So I took this anatomy class because you were required to take a science class. And I remember that we were talking about pregnancy, and we were talking about having twins or having a triplet. So I had to present my work that I did, my little research, in front of the whole class. So I'm going there as a freshman, and I'm standing in front of 40 people. It was a pretty big classroom. And instead of saying triplets, I said repeatedly threesome. And I had no idea that what is the difference really. And I was standing there in front of the audience, and they were looking at me in these big eyes, what did you just say? And I just carried on. I was just talking about the process and how it happens, and how you can have a duplicate of the egg or whatever. And they were listening to me in such silence. They don't even listen to the professor with such silence. And then I went back to my seat, and the guy that was next to me, he was like, you meant to say triplet. And I was like, yeah, what did I say? And then he explained the definition to me, and I was so red, like I was so embarrassed. And at that moment, I remember that like the whole classroom like started laughing after they were silent for the whole time that I was speaking. And I was really, really, really embarrassed. But I didn't let it stop me. I didn't let it develop into a phobia from public speaking. But embarrassing things happen to everybody, really. Everybody, all the best public speakers out there, they all have a story about a really embarrassing thing that happened to them. The first tip, and this is pretty simple, but also kind of people forget about it, don't stay stagnant before your speech. So like you want to move your body, you want to try to be active on the day of your speech. You want to allow all the adrenaline to release and all the oxygen to get out of your body. I mean, to all the oxygen to get in. You see, I made another mistake. And all of the adrenaline to get out, because I see so many people, like classmates and stuff like that, and they sit, like, you can't really see my body right now, but they sit like so rough with their body, and they're so like stagnant, and it is very easy in that way for all of the stress to just gather in your body, and it's just making it harder on you. Practice speaking loud and clear. And the reason I'm including that is because I don't know if most of you are probably freshmen, so you don't know, but last year I've had this really cool project that's called 60 Wise Seconds. So I would interview different wise students about their plans and their classes and what it's like being a woman in STEM, and what it's like to like have a lot of men in your classroom, and not to have necessarily too many role models that are female. And all of them were speaking so silent that I couldn't even hear them, and I couldn't understand them. So then on all of the videos, I had to put subtitles because otherwise nobody else could hear them. But a lot of STEM students are just so clever, so intelligent, so like sharp in their profession, genius. But when it comes to explaining and expressing what they want to say, they get stuck because it's embarrassing to like speak loud and clear and to really emphasize what you want to say. So I want to recommend for all of you to, like, you know, in front of your phone, record yourself in front of the mirror. Try to really speak loud and clear, and so that people can understand you. It really makes you a much better public speaker if you do that. Body language. So if you're sitting, you want to sit comfortably. You want to sit in a way that you're like, yeah, I'm here. I have a presence in this room. I am confident with what I do. I'm comfortable where I am. You don't want to sit like, oh, I am so uncomfortable right now, and I'm so like afraid of what's going to happen. Like, don't really approach me, and I'm like closed in my body language. But if you are standing, then you want to stand, take a lot of space. When you're presenting in front of a class, you want to walk around. This is something that I think makes your speech much better, because it generates positive endorsement to your brain and to your body, and also the impression that other people have. But you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta remember and remind yourself and go to bed thinking that like you are a superstar, and people that you're speaking to, they really want to hear you, and they really want to get the information that you're about to deliver. And you want to deliver the information in a way that you know it is valid and meaningful. So right now, if I won't believe in myself that I am a good public speaker, that I am good at what I do, that I'm professional at what I do, and that I have something, a skill that I can deliver to you and that I can teach you, you won't believe me. You won't think that I am resourceful. You're not going to think I'm a good public speaker, because if I'm going to, think that I'm not that great, or think that I'm not that good, or think that my accent's going to come in the way, then nobody else is going to buy it. Nobody else is going to want to listen to me. So this goes again, obviously, to speaking loud and clear, but also it comes from the mental aspect, definitely. And I know it is much easier said than done, and I'm not saying that I believe in myself 100%, There are other areas in my life that I doubt myself constantly, but this is a good reminder for everybody that you gotta believe in yourself. My next one, as you can tell, something that I'm showing to all of you is that you gotta show your enthusiasm. If you don't show enthusiasm, nobody else will get excited about what you're about to say. And I don't care if you're going to talk about anatomy or astronomy or physics or biology or chemistry, whatever it is. You gotta be so excited about what you're saying and so like enthusiastic about the information that you're delivering. Because if you will show your enthusiasm for what it is, you show your passion for what it is, other people would really want to listen to you. And other people really get excited about it too, even though you think it might not be that interesting or might be boring. And I know that a lot of STEM people find their research to be not as interesting. Show it with passion, show it with enthusiasm. You gotta be bold in order to give a speech that is going to last, that is really going to make an effect. Because the audience can really feel realness. And so you have to be yourself. You have to listen to yourself first. And don't be afraid to make a mistake. Like I said, everybody makes a mistake. That only shows that you're a real person that lives in a real life, in a real world, and like that you can relate to your audience, that your audience can relate to you. If you're going up there, and I know a lot of good public speakers do that sometimes, but if you go up there and you know, fill yourself up and you're like, oh, I'm this perfect human being and the most amazing professional on earth, people are gonna catch you as like being cocky and too confident. And there is such thing as being too confident because you're not authentic and you're not showing realness and you're not delivering who you are. So in a way, you have to know yourself and connect to what you really have to deliver to others. You need to portray a human behavior and stay down to earth and stay authentic content and authentic information. So I'm not going to pretend to deliver a speech from someone else. I'm going to deliver my speech, Michal's speech, because I am Michal, I'm not anybody else. If there's one thing I want you to take from being a good public speaker and how to like collect your thoughts when you're organizing a speech, is to tell a story. Oh my God. Telling a story in your speech is so powerful. And the reason why it's so powerful is because people often don't judge stories. Stories deliver power for real. They are the most powerful thing that you can do when you speak in front of an audience. A story has the ability to paint a picture in the mind of another individual. So a meaningful story has a lesson at the end. Also, there has to be a clear link between the lesson and the lecture. So 85% of the top TED Talks are story-centric. Every time you want to tell something, start it with a story. Anytime you want to explain, convince something, people are gonna likely judge you. But if you're saying something from your heart and telling about something that happened to you, nobody can really judge you because it's your story. It is your experience. It is something that you've experienced. So it is not for me and not for anybody else to really judge you. So two more things that make a good story. You want to make the audience laugh a little bit. You want to tell something that is kind of going to maybe show you in like more of a jokeable type of light. And the second, you want to have kind of relatable characters and relatable experience.
Do you love your wife?
Yes.
Right? Prove it. Like, what's the metric? Give me the number that helps me know, right? Because when you met her, you didn't love her, right? Now you love her, right? Tell me the day the love happened. It's an impossible question, right? But it's not that it doesn't exist, it's that it's much easier to prove over time. She didn't fall in love with you because you remembered her birthday and bought her flowers on Valentine's Day. She fell in love with you because when you woke up in the morning, you said good morning to her before you checked your phone. She fell in love with you because when you went to the fridge to get yourself a drink, you got her one without even asking. She fell in love with you because when you had an amazing day at work and she came home and she had a terrible day at work, You didn't say, yeah, but let me tell you about my day. You sat and listened to her awful day, and you didn't say a thing about your amazing day.
How do you love your wife? How do you show her? When did that happen? How do you fall in love with somebody? That's something that really makes the audience go like, how did that happen to me? When did I felt like that? He had lots of different examples that show kind of like relatable experience for the audience to feel. So I don't know if you had the same experience, but when I'm listening to that, I'm thinking about the little gestures that I do to show somebody that I love him. He was repetitive. She didn't fall in love with you because of XYZ. She fell in love with you because she fell in love with you because. So that also was really powerful, and not necessarily in a story, but more in a provocative question. So although fear really drives most of us, the audacity is what you need. You have to be bold and have to be transformative, and don't half step into your presentation. You have to really be fully in the moment and to be present in what you do, and to really believe in yourself, like I said, and to try to work on yourself to have the boldness to do what you do, and remind yourself that you're an expert in your field, and remind yourself all of the things that you're really good at, and remind yourself that you have a lot of value to give to the people that are going to listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth. And when you feel fear of something, it isn't actually fear. And it's, again, easier said than done, but it is really your potential that wants to get out. Whenever you feel like you're fearing something and there's like a fear that's dangling and like kind of stopping you from doing something, remind yourself, it's not fear. It is my potential that wants to get out. So you gotta let it get out. You gotta let it show, and don't be afraid of how it feels. It's just a feeling. It's not really what's going on. Another extra is I recommend, and this is a Simon Sinek tip, to change your perspective. So show up to give instead of showing up to take. So he was talking about so many cases where people are like public speakers and they're making it all about them. So like, when I was in college and when I wrote this research and when I did this amazing thing that made this amazing contribution, and it's all about me. And they, at the end of their presentation, they have like, here's my Instagram and my website and my Facebook account, and follow me here and follow me there and buy my products and donate to my campaign. Don't make it about you. Really think about, why is your audience there to listen to you, and what do you have to give them? So this is the link to sign up to one-on-one meetings. If you're interested, please do. And this is the link to sign up to clinic number 2, which is going to be on Tuesday at 5 p.m. The clinics are going to be Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. That way I can accommodate different people with what they need. Yeah, that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I'm really, really grateful that you came and you signed up and you show interest in improving yourself and improving a skill that is important in today's world. And I'm here for you. So please, if you have anything to say or to add or any comment or feedback, please do. So thanks a lot for coming, and I really hope that you enjoyed it.